We're coming in.
Coming in.
See, I told you. Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We are so happy that you're here. This is What's the Story with Maria on Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, armedradioglobal.com. You can listen to us live. Jason Peck has joined us already. Jason, you are the first one on tonight. Usually you're like two. You beat everybody out, Jason. Maria Filiomeni has joined us from Morristown. Hi, Maria Filiomeni. Ed Kutu, my friend from Blade Salon in Old Westfield, Connecticut, has joined us. Richard Koch, I was looking at your book again today, and I'm going to talk about it sometime in the show. Richard Koch is an amazing photographer, and he has a beautiful book that I think would make an incredible Christmas present. Irina has joined us. Eva has joined us. She's a makeup artist. Hi, everybody. So thank you for joining us. And as I said, this is Armed Radio, and you can find us on armeddigitalmedia.com if you want to listen live. This show goes to 60 countries and across our country. It was originally started by the armed forces, and so they would have entertainment radio and something great to listen to. And now it's turned into this other wonderful thing, and here we are. And we also go to podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Spreaker. Okay, Rory Taggart has joined us all the way from Canada. Brad Lacey, Dr. Brad Lacey, he's a dentist. Hi, Brad Lacey. John Panish has joined us. He joined us every week. So I told my wonderful guests, and I'll tell you folks out there, if you want to share our show, we would love it. So you can share it as it's happening. Hi, Kimberly Travis. She's in Texas, I believe. So you can just share the show live, and that means it'll also run on your Facebook page as we are broadcasting. So, okay, Hector Garcia. Hi, Hector Garcia. He's in Kentucky. I want to introduce two of my friends that are joining us tonight. My friend Jackie Woolley and Stephen Schmidt. Now, Stephen, do you go by Stephen C. Schmidt, or do you just go by Stephen Schmidt?
I went by Stephen C. Schmidt because I was trying to get into the union.
Okay, see, a lot of people have done that. Sam Barnes has joined us. So I always ask my friends, because a lot of my actor friends have to add a letter in there or change the name sometimes or alter it in some way because it's already taken, right? So when you went to SAG or AFTRA or wherever you went the first time, there was already a Stephen Schmidt, probably, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they said you have to add something.
That's right.
So you added that C. All right.
You don't know what it stands for?
Yes, I would love it.
Christopher.
Christopher. Okay.
I did know that, actually.
Did you know that? That's a good trivia
What's your
question.
middle name?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Actually, that's a great question. My real name is Maria Pia.
Okay.
It's an Italian name. So Maria Pia Gentile. So, but these American people, they don't always get that. So it would be. So I changed it to a P middle initial. So it would be. In English, it's Maria Pia. People don't always get that. So, but in Italian, it's very pretty. It's Maria Pia. So when I speak to Italians from Italy, they always go, "What's your name?" And I say Maria Pia. That's my real name. But to everybody else in the world, I'm just Maria. There I am. So these are all great questions.
I hope that wasn't a trigger.
No, I'm gonna squeeze your knee next time.
Yeah.
All right, Jorge Hernandez has joined us also in Kentucky. George is a doctor of psychology that has, in the last few years, become an incredible artist. George, I was following you, and you just had a big show out there. We're talking about sometimes like changing courses in life. We're talking before the show, and George is one example of that. So let's dive right into this. All right. So I know you both from the singing world, right? We were entertainers. We're in the singing world. We're in production. Carlos Hernandez has joined us. He's in Texas. And lately I was talking to Jackie, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we have this company, and Stephen started this company." And I was like, what? I don't know anything about this. You'll have to come on the show and tell people. So hold on, as I got more people joining us, and I want to acknowledge them. Jenny Dilly has joined us. Hi, Jenny Dilly, and she's in Philadelphia. Kia Nelson, also a Philly girl. We have two Philly girls popped on at the same time. Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin Marisa. And Leo Rodriguez. You know what that means? When Leo comes on, we have to go, Leo Rodriguez. That's it. Ready?
Yep.
Leo
Rodriguez.
I'm telling you, it is not What's the Story with Maria unless we do that. So, do you know Leo? Leo is a really fun guy.
I don't know Leo. No.
You might know him from, you probably have crossed paths, but Leo's also
Very
an
cool.
actor. He's written a musical that made it to the
Wow.
Fringe Festival a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So all these great people that are in the business, right? Beth Irwin, is that a friend of yours?
Yeah.
That's Chris's mom. That's
What?
my fiance's mom. Hi,
That's-
Beth.
Hi, Beth. I think I met Beth a few years ago. She's a lovely person. Hello, Beth. And if I could only find a way to shut off my notifications on my other computer, but that's another story for another day. All right, so I'm going to let you guys start, and you have this amazing production company, and it's a service for actors that we desperately need. And who else do I have here? One more. Let's acknowledge one more person. Barbara Cavallo. Do you know who Barbara Cavallo is? One of the most important people in my life. My therapist. Hi, Barbara Cavallo. I love her. So she is great.
Amazing.
She's in Brooklyn. If you need a good therapist, you think I'm joking?
What support? What
Barbara
support, you know, 'cause-
Cavallo.
Yeah.
Okay. So who wants to start first, and what this company is about? And tell whatever you start where you want to start. It's your company.
Sure. Well, hi, I'm Steven Schmidt. I started a company called Real Arc about 4.5 years ago. And Real Arc set out to create short scenes for actors' demo reels. So if an actor didn't have any footage, now they didn't have to go through the student film,
Wow.
circuit and do all of that and wait for footage that they might not be able to use. I don't have to give you my pitch, but just to tell you what we
but
do.
that's
Or unpaid, non-speaking extra work and try to Frankenstein a reel out of that to be your promotional materials, your first steps out into the business. And as you know, that first impression that you make is a really big deal. So
now I want to add to that, and I'll tell you why, because that got my attention right away. When I first moved to the city in 1990, that's exactly what we used to do. Is we would just you'd look through Backstage. Back then it was before the internet and all that. So you would look through Backstage, find these, and submit to these roles and do stuff for no pay, and like you said, wait, and you would wait for these things to come out and pray that you could get some kind of tape out of it.
Sure.
And so lots of times you didn't.
Well, you're
very
kind of the last
frustrating.
thing on their mind. If they do their sort of graduate thesis film, once they're done with it, the last thing they want to do is look back and get you your footage, or get you a copy of it or something that you can use.
Right.
So,
And yet to the actor, it's so important.
very, very.
So there's these two different things that are happening, and it's nobody's fault. It's just they have different priorities,
Sure.
right?
Sure, absolutely.
So now Jackie, because we're going to go back and forth. So how does Jackie tie in now to all of this? So go ahead.
So my story is a little bit different. My fiance has been best friends with Steven. The two of them moved to New York. How many years ago? 18 years ago.
I know that little
Um,
scamp.
Yeah,
I
you
know him.
Chris, yeah.
I
And
know
so
Chris.
I got introduced to Steven probably about a year ago, right about the time where I was really questioning becoming a doctor. I was in medical school about a year ago.
Is that crazy or what? I didn't know that until tonight. Can you believe that?
Leo, thank you for the link.
See, Leo is what I call the accidental intern, because I'm telling you, Leo, you actually are officially, I can stop calling you the accidental intern, but it's true. John Paul Curry's joined us, Maria Sullivan, Bach, a lot of people, I'll scroll back, but Leo is so sweet, and he always, if we talk about stuff, will post it. So you can, as Jackie and Steven are speaking, if you want to go and check that out, or wait till the end of the show and then we'll save it, of course. Okay, so you were in medical school, Jackie, and what happened? And you met Chris, and that's it? That happens
So
when
we
you met
met.
Chris.
Yeah, that's exactly how we met.
Well,
And-
that's how I met Steven, but that's definitely not the reason that I decided that medical school wasn't for me. I got bogged down with paperwork and the way that our insurance system here works, and it was all in all just I felt like I was really hitting a wall.
Mm,
And
oh my
so I decided that I needed a change, and I didn't know what that change was at first, but within, I would say, probably about 2 months.
you know, it's so crazy that you would be talking about insurance, because all day today I was obsessing.
I know, because December 15th is
Oh my
the end
God.
of
And
open enrollment.
Yes, well, I'm already enrolled, but my insurance is $600 a month, and it's going up to $700 a month.
Yeah.
And I can't afford it anymore. And I couldn't afford it when it was 600 or 400. So I literally today said to myself, I just have to give up my health insurance. There's no way to pay bills and have that. So I'm glad that you talked about that, because also a lot of, as actors, I remember once we got into the union, that you would want to do as much work as you could, because in the unions, if you make a certain amount of money, you get free health insurance. So that was a big thing too. So like the actor life, that's why I really wanted to have you guys on. The actor life, the behind the scenes of the actor life is so different than what people would ever imagine. So what Steven was talking about doing all these student films and all these things just to get reels, what does that mean? Like the people out there that are not actors, what does that mean, putting a reel together?
So basically, as an actor, you need promotional materials. It's different from going up in any other another style of business, because you have to show basically what you have done. But basically, it'd be like getting your headshot. Everybody knows what a headshot is. It'd be like getting your headshot done by an amateur, which is not something that anyone would think about, right? Because it has to be a professional, positive look for you. Well, the same goes for your promotional materials, like your reel, which is just like short snippets or clips that showcase you acting, which is so hard to get a hold of when you just get started, because there's that whole, catch-22 of you need footage to get footage, and how do you get footage if you don't have footage? So, we decided to change that a little bit. And I'm not knocking student film productions or extra work or anything like that. Do them for experience, but have them represent you in your promotional materials, not necessarily. We think there's a better way. Yeah.
Well, my big comparison is always the classic example of, I want to apply for an entry-level position, but you need a master's degree and 2 years experience for that position.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
So that's kind of like the corollary or correlation that I use for
med school.
I guess people that med school or really anybody who's not necessarily in the creative world.
No, but it's true. And in the corporate world, that is exactly it. It's almost like these days, you can't just get anywhere with just a bachelor's. You have to get. It's almost everyone wants a master's. So it's true. It's crazy. The world it's gone so fast, which is great, but it's almost outrun itself, where we have to find a way to catch up to all the technology and all this, everything that's happening, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So if a person, let me just keep checking with people, because I want to, so many of our nice friends, let me scroll back. We missed a few of them. And I do like to acknowledge our people. Michael Klein has joined us. Suzanne Mason joins us every week. Thank you, Suzanne. Marie Sullivan Bach has joined. John Polcari. Jeffrey Campbell. Hi, Jeffrey Campbell. Leah Sutton. Hi, Leah Sutton. Veronica Heffron has joined us. Alex Rusin. All right. So now this is Jackie Woolley and Stephen C. Schmidt, and they are talking about their company. And the name of your company is?
It's called Six Legions Media, is the overall company.
Overall company. But you were talking about a lot of these different companies.
Yeah.
So the Six Legions encompass all of them, or are they separate entities? How does that?
Well, Six Legions encompasses all of them. So we have Real Arc, which is the video production for actors that don't have footage. And then we started a few years ago Actors Launchpad, which is classes for actors.
Wow, that's so
it's
great.
a $30 a month, basically gets you all of your audition taping and your classes.
Listen, I want you to stop there.
Yeah.
$30 a month. That is literally like less than $10 a week. Less than $10 a week. It's nothing. It's literally, that's 2 Starbucks coffees a week.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a steal.
If you need your audition taping done, then you can come in Monday through Friday and get it done for free with a great reader, and the quality is high. And we figured, let's actually stop trying to take all this money from actors, because back to what you were saying earlier about the acting lifestyle in New York City, it just costs so much to do anything. Anything you want to do costs money.
And live here.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
survive here.
So
I get charged $20 every time I step out my front door.
Oh, easily.
Like it's
I joke and I say
for exiting my apartment.
Oh my God, absolutely. And I always joke and I say to Judy, every time I cross the bridge, the GW bridge, it's $100 because I have to pay for the bridge. I'm gonna get something to eat. Now I'm in Jersey. By the time I get back home, I've spent $100. It's true. It's like, and I teach out there in Jersey and do a lot of work out there. So we spend a lot of money as creative people, and it's if you can find something that I just think that's a steal. So I'm sorry to interrupt. I just, want to remind people that that's an incredible price. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that also includes classes, or you can get to meet a casting director or something like that. And before it'd be like 70, 80, 90, sometimes $100 to actually just get in the room with somebody. It's $30 a month for that. And it's on the low end, $50 per audition taping if you just try to go and do it with like a private service. But we set up the system so that, if everyone pays a little, then everybody can have a lot.
Yeah, and if anybody out there is actually
amazing.
listening, we do have a New Year's promotion deal kind of coming up. So,
Okay, tell us about that, Jackie. Go ahead, go for it, because we're almost there.
well, we're offering an annual membership option in which, if you pay for your first 10 months, you get the last 2 months of the year for free. So kind of driving the price down even further. So if anybody out there is interested in that, check out actorslaunchpad.com.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this in there. Often people don't know what to get each other for Christmas, right? If your significant other is in the business, what a wonderful gift that would be. To get someone a year at Six Legions Media, you get 2 months free, and you're giving someone something that they may not give themselves. Like one year, one of my friends gave me, I wanted to join the songwriter service, and it was $300 a year. I didn't have $300 a year. And someone actually got it for me. It was, I literally burst into tears when I got it, because I would never spend $300 on myself. I would spend it on other people, my family, whatever. If someone needed to borrow $300, I would let them have it. But I would never just, because I sometimes, people feel like maybe I shouldn't do that. But first of all, it's a steal. But that's a great gift to get someone if maybe they might not get it for themselves. So I wanted to throw that out there too.
Looks like our volume is getting lower or fading, so we're gonna try to speak
Sorry,
up.
We'll be a little louder for you guys.
Okay. Oh, all right. So not sure if it's just me, but the volume seems low or fade. Okay. So sometimes what happens is we start off at this level, and then we as human beings go back down to that. So we're gonna Steven Sansusi has joined us. Victor Flores, looking good, Maria. Victor, are you flirting with me? I love Victor. Victor Flores is this amazing executive chef at Joe Allen and Orso and Bar Centrale.
Wow.
You know who Eugenia Mesa is, Victor. You better. Victor was flirting with me, honey. That's Judy. That's my girlfriend. So she is just popped on. Anyway, Victor, you have to come on. Victor is an amazing, amazing chef, and I'm dying to have him on. So, okay, so
oh, sorry. So
what's
so
this?
What I said before, and I'm sorry if you guys couldn't catch it. It's actorslaunchpad.com.
Okay. Now, I must stop you. Gina Savino has joined us. Gina Savino is my cousin. And when Gina Savino comes on, we have to clap. Gina Savino, everybody. All right. So now, I love these guys. They're right in it. So we did the Leo Rodriguez. Now we did the Gina Savino. I'm telling you, there are things that happen here. Okay, every week. All right. Hi, Gina. All right. So keep telling us what $30 a month.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so $30 a month gets you all of your audition taping here in New York City. We have a really localized central location on 35th and 8th, right by Madison Square Garden.
So easy to get
right
to.
by all of the audition houses and things of that nature.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank
What
you,
did Leo do now?
Leo added that
Unbelievable.
link. Yeah.
Leo Rodriguez! I'm telling you.
So all of your audition taping, and then we also do classes with agents, managers, on-camera classes, things of that nature, and it's all included with the $30 membership. So it's a pretty great deal.
We even have yoga classes now.
We do
too.
yoga
You
now.
do?
We
Yoga classes.
Yeah.
What?
Some Mondays we offer yoga classes. It's
That's
BYOM, which is bring your own mat, and we do them where Ripley Greer. I think we get a whole nother room for that.
I think
Yeah.
we do.
Get a
Wow.
whole nother room for that. It's,
You don't even have to leave. You never have to leave that's it. You never have to leave these guys. You're all set. And then
Yeah.
I'll come in and do the catering, and that's it. I'm telling you. Herman Velez has joined us. Hi, Herman. So, all right, now, Stephen, this was your idea, right? And
Yeah,
what
I
made you
mean,
think of it?
So I started out as a stage actor, and I was working, I was doing well, but then I realized that I was going to have to do a whole lot of regional stuff and stuff that I wasn't in love with in the for different musicals. I was like, this isn't really for me to do a few of the things that I really love.
By the
So I
way,
had
Stephen
this-
is an amazing singer as well.
Thank
Just
you.
in case you didn't know that,
And
He is an
Maria.
amazing.
Everyone's heard Maria sing.
Well, because I'm
Yeah.
loud. That's
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna sing no matter. I was singing in the laundry room today in my basement, and the plumber, our the very nice man Courtney, came. She's like, "You're singing." I said, "Yeah." I didn't say, "Well, that's what I do." Or anything. I said, "Yeah, I love to sing." I'm whistling.
And
That's,
you're incredible. Yeah.
well, I'm all right. I'm all right. You know, it pays the rent for now.
Yeah.
Doesn't pay the health insurance, but it
Nope.
pays the rent.
Yeah, we covered that.
Oh my God, what the hell? So go ahead.
So I was working in restaurants just trying to figure things out, like so many actors in New York City. And then I started to shoot with an old friend of mine, and the idea happened organically that we could shoot short things that looked very professional for
Wow.
actors to, and just snippets of them to help them move their careers forward. Because
And
at the end
I
of the
have
day,
seen some of those snippets. They're amazing.
thank you.
I also want to say hi to my cousin Rena has joined us. My cousin Rena Berge. Hi, Rena. Beth Irwin is saying, yes, he is a great singer. Yes, he is. Thank you, Beth.
Thanks, Beth.
Beth is a big fan of yours, though. I know that from when I met Beth the last time. Everybody loves Steven. Steven is very, very easy to love, as is Jackie. And Jackie brought me the most beautiful flowers. As a matter of fact, I have to show these off because these are so. Steven, will you help me with the flowers? Look at the flowers that Jackie brought to the party. I mean, are you kidding me with these? Amazing, right? Class act, Jackie. Thank you so much. Thank you, Steven. You are the tall
They're from
person.
both of us. I just happen to be
Well,
the
both
one who
of
picked
you.
them up.
Thank you so much. And they brought their own wine. I mean, you can't get better guests than that, right? Okay, so you were
Right.
They look
So there I
professional.
was. I was in a restaurant trying to sort things out, like so many other actors.
Mm.
And the idea just came to me that this could be a possible way to help actors because it can be a drag to be an actor in New York City.
Oh my God.
Everyone knows that, right? It's expensive to live in the city. It's difficult. There's constant rejection. It takes you a year to get together something that's so essential these days, which is your reel, to rep yourself to the acting community.
Do you do
And
voiceover
figured-
reels too?
We don't do voiceover reels.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I know that there's a lot, like the same thing with voiceovers now. But the thing is, I think it's so much easier to pull voices together. You can do it now on your GarageBand, for Christ's sakes. That's
absolutely.
easy.
Yeah.
But acting reels. So tell me about the setting up of the scenes. You create these scenes? Because I've heard you both talk about it. And I'm
Yeah.
fascinated. Like, oh, tomorrow we're going to shoot a scene. I'm like, what? What are they talking about?
Like, I guess in a way it's easiest for me to start just because I'm kind of,
You're the operations
I'm-
manager, right?
I'm operations manager, sometimes executive producer, sometimes, I'm in casting.
So you wear a
sometimes
lot of
yeah,
hats.
I wear a lot of different hats.
That's great.
But after, new client, new actor goes through a consultation process with our COO, Tom Lapke, they wind up dealing with me for most of the process as far as client relations go between our script writer and our concept writer.
Listen to all
between
this stuff you're getting.
locations, the
Amazing.
production team, the editing team. So I'm kind of there to sort of walk our clients and actors through the process and, give professional advice about, what the goals are. So, for example, there was a conversation I had with a client earlier this week that was, notes about their scripts and me coming back to them and saying, well, these are your marketing materials.
Now, do you
what are
use
the
scripts
things-
that are already written, or does somebody write those?
They're
scripts?
custom scripts.
Unbelievable.
We've done
Absolutely everything we
almost
do.
2,000 scenes, and every single one has been a custom script.
This is crazy.
Written specifically for the actors' strong points. Yeah.
Exactly.
That is amazing. This is an amazing, amazing thing.
And so what I tell them is that, you want to think of a couple of adjectives that really, and I did learn this from Steven, so I have to give him
Well,
credit.
we learn from each other. Yeah,
Um,
but
Absolutely.
it's not.
But I tell them there are a couple of adjectives that you really want to nail. Like when you put together a reel, you want to put it in front of a casting director and say, I know who I am. I know what I can sell. I know what I can do. And they look at that footage and they say, absolutely, that's right on brand. And that's how you really get your foot in the door.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I took a few really good classes. Like I'll tell you, like just very quickly, why this appeals to me so much. When I first moved here in 1990, I had always been same thing, a stage actor and a singer. I've been a singer forever, and so that's what I knew. But the same thing, they want these reels, and you're like, doesn't everybody want to get into film and television? You're in New York. You want to get out in there. You want to get seen and how do you get seen. So I took a ton of classes, and the best class I took was called The Business of the Business. And it literally like pulled no punches and told you exactly what they expected of you, how they saw you, and what to look for and how to act. You're new in the city and this is what you do. And I found that very helpful. But then it really depended on what acting classes I took for film. But some of the best advice I got was know what you're, like you're saying, Jack, know your strong points. And sometimes you don't know your strong points. You're like, when I first got here, I wanted to not be Italian. How crazy is that? Like, I was like, no, I don't want to be typecast. And every single casting director was like, you're Italian. No, but I don't want to be. And finally, I got a role in Tony and Tina's Wedding, which is the most Italian off-Broadway show there ever was. But from that came a million other things. And sometimes it's just good at knowing to accept what you're good at, right?
Yeah.
Not fight it so much.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to typecasting a little bit and how that hinders. Not the idea of typecasting can hurt an acting career. It's not your job to be right for every role. You know, if you're an actor out there,
That
it's
is
your right to be
such good advice.
Yeah, it's your job to be really right for the roles you're already right for. So it's figuring out and accepting who you are and what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter who you are. I look around, I'm on the subway, I see everyone, and everyone is a character in a movie if you look deep enough. They all have stories if you look deep enough. Every single person that you see.
Yep.
So it's just about finding the right movie or the right project for your particular story. What
You know,
can bring
what's
to the
interesting
table.
about what you said, people ask me sometimes, why did you call the show What's the Story with Maria? And one of the reasons, Joe Rocks, who is the big guy at the big guns at Armed Radio, he's the big producer, and it was his, he asked me, we were laughing because we're both Italian and we come from the north end of Boston, and there you don't say, hey, I'd like to know some more about that person, or I'm curious. You say, what's the story with that guy? That's really because as Italians, we're very animated, and there is a story. Everyone does have a story. And it's funny, sometimes I'll just say, like what you were saying, it's so interesting. Watching someone, and you really wonder, like I was telling my neighbor today, that there was a guy that used to live across the courtyard that I always would like see and think like, what is going on with that guy? Because he always worked by this little lamp. And I'm like, is he a watchmaker? What is he doing? So it's little things like that, if that was a scene. So do Jackie, you interview people and you bring out something about them, or is it something they say that sparks something in you? How does that work, that process?
So it's actually our COO, Tom, who meets with our clients initially. And he came to us from Backstage University, and he has extensive experience in actor education.
Jay Rivera just joined us. Speaking of great actors, Paul Lucas, playwright. We love Jay. So go ahead, Jackie. I'm sorry.
And so anyway, Tom has extensive experience in kind of meeting with actors and determining what it is, or at least what we call their signal. The signal is it's kind of those adjectives that we were talking about, like something that really defines them and something that they can really, really do well and sell well. And so he's there to sort of advise and direct and shape what we create for them into something that is going to be just knock it out of the park kind of marketing material.
So this is it's a school. It's a place that you learn. You're going to learn so much. You're not just going to get a product. You're also learning as you go, right? About yourself as well.
You're gonna learn and you're gonna get advice, but at the same time, typically when people come to us, like they're ready to put what they have onto camera.
That's a really good point. Okay, so now do you advise people, Stephen, this is for both of you, do you advise people when they if someone just got to New York,
right?
I'm going to ask you two different, someone just got here and someone that's been here a long time. So fresh face from like, I don't know, someone comes in there from Nebraska. They were in every school play. They were the star of their show. Boom, now they land in New York. Do you advise them to take classes? What do you think the best advice for an actor in the city is?
So there's two different things, right? If they come to Real Arc, it's going to be a branding exercise for them. We're going to tell them what we see as professionals that have cast, thousands and thousands of short scenes at this point, and also short film. And we've also just worked in this business for long enough and worked with casting directors through Actors Launchpad to know what this particular industry here in New York needs, because it's different from LA, it's different from Atlanta, it's different from all of the other cities.
And what makes it different?
New York is a procedural town. You know,
What does that mean?
procedurals are like shades of blue. You know,
Your
Law
walk
and
on
Order.
roll and Law and Order.
Law and
Like,
Order
that's
is a big. That's like a rite of passage for so many
Oh my
actors.
It
in New
God!
York
Yes,
City
I
is to
need
get
one of
that
those. I
one.
need
Yeah.
that rite of passage.
Exactly. So the idea is to shoot for that. You know, figure out where you live in that world first, because that's most likely going to be your best first job out
Wow.
into this particular industry. And then we approach other things, like there's a lot of web series being shot here, so we try to see where they fit in those styles of comedy. It's not really like a blockbuster movie type of place, you know. Atlanta is for Marvel, and LA is for just all types of different movies. But New York City right now has a really thriving TV. Yeah, think of like the Marvel Netflix shows, which
Yep.
are, you know, kind of on their way out now, but they had their sort of resurgence for a short period of time. And we were trying to figure out, how can we get people to be in the Defenders? How can we get them to be in you know, Daredevil, something like that.
Right,
So we
right.
try to figure out how to translate their talent as it is right when they walk in the room to the New York market in that way.
Now, also speaking of filming, like people that don't live in New York don't always understand that literally they film right out on your street.
Mhm.
So this particular neighborhood where I live, the streets lend themselves very well to filming, because you can park those big trucks. And I know, because they're always taking our parking spots. So I'm happy for the actors and the production people, and I'm always like, but I get it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's always usual suspect.
Gotham,
Gotham,
Madam Secretary,
Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods,
Last week,
FBI,
right?
or there.
So-
I can't.
They did a
There's a whole
God Friended
list.
Me last week.
Right,
Yep.
right.
I mean, so much films all the time up here, not just movies, but shows constantly. And Law and Order, I mean, of course, that's like one of the films constantly in New York.
Yeah.
So there's so many great shows, and that's the way you want to get. You want to get in there. I remember when Sopranos was filming, all the Italian actors, we just suddenly, all of a sudden, started getting so much work. It was great. That would film in North Caldwell,
Yeah.
New Jersey. That was really great. And then, when that ended, but it's good so that's and what, is there a season that films as opposed to a season that, like I know in LA, there's like pilot season. Does that happen more in New York or not? Or is it constant?
It's pretty constant. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as seasonal as like, you know, pilot season is not something we talk about here on the East
Right.
Coast. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let me check in with some
Ever-
more people. I'm sorry, Jackie.
Oh,
One
no
second.
worries.
So Kenny Green, he says, truth, no parking days. Yeah, you know all about it. So let me see. We have, I'm going to scroll back, and Terry Ross has joined us. Hi, Terry Ross. Terry Ross is my friend that makes amazing jewelry. She's at Bryant Park. Her kiosk is N13, and she has just the most beautiful jewelry. She's selling it until January 2nd. Go and see Terry Ross. Annette Zita was on the show a few weeks. Oh my God, it's beautiful stuff. Being on show, Maria is right. Is our rite of passage. You know what? Thank you, Annette. Annette has a cooking show called Kitch Annette, and it's great. Look on YouTube for Kitchenette.
See
And
what
she-
you did there.
Yeah, she has these great recipes. She created a recipe, a Maria Gentili. Did you know that? But it was delicious. Michael Sawyer has joined us. Leo, okay.
You love a good pun.
I love
Like,
Oh,
it's
do you?
just-
I do
Steven
too.
loves
Yeah.
A
good
lot of
puns.
people think puns are stupid. I love them. I think they're genius. And then you're gonna love Annette. She also has a cookbook, and it's all Oscars, and she created dishes for the Oscar, and they're all puns. Films. It's
Very
really
cool.
cool. Yeah. So James Solomon, Ben has joined us, and I want to go back to Richard Koch, who's our friend, who's a photographer. He photographs a lot of red carpet people and gets a lot of exclusive stuff. He also did a New York book called New York, New York, which is, he photographed New York from an insider point of view. So not a touristy point of view, but what it's like. You can really get a feel of what it's like to be that New Yorker walking down the street and seeing what we see every day. So if you want to get a really nice Christmas present for someone either in New York or outside of New York, and say, this is what it feels like to be a New Yorker, this through someone's eyes, Richard Koch, Koek. And the book is called New York, New York. It's beautiful. All right. And Annette, what's the name of your book again? I have it back there, but I can't. What's the name of your book again? And I want to, or just write it in and out how they can get your book because it's really cool. I actually bought 2 for Christmas. All right, let's go back to, so Jackie, now, what would you say is the hardest part of your job?
Oh my gosh.
A lot of stuff, or is it
I'm
like,
not quite sure how to answer it.
you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
But what I can say is that since I made the transition from medical school
Is that
to
crazy?
the film world, really just kind of learning the ropes and learning, how it's different to deal with actors than it is to deal with patients. And there are far more similarities than there are differences, funny enough.
Listen, I've
but-
taught school for over 20 years, and I always say the similarities between being a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, and working in a bar are similar. So I get it. I get it. There's like, now what would you say? First of all, what kind of medicine?
I wanted to be a trauma surgeon.
That's amazing. So you're used to like a lot of crazy all at once.
I've
Coming
worked-
at actors, perfect.
Yeah.
She can deal with it. Trauma. All right, there you go. Actors are always in trauma. Every day there's a trauma with an actor. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, I could tell you because that's what we do. So, okay. And so what? So going back to the question of the most difficult part of your job, or something that you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. What do you think?
I think there's a big thing.
Maybe you can answer this better than I can, actually, Stephen.
No, I just think there's a special thing that happens when the product is also the client at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot that needs to be respected about that. It's not just a service that provides a product at the end. It's a whole system that we've created to actually make actors feel good about the next step in their acting career, as opposed to just paying again, another load of money for something that they feel kind of on the fence about and just feel like it's a necessity. So therefore they had to do it. We want them to feel good about what they've decided to do.
So if they come and they get a reel, you put together a reel for them, they can leave with that, or now you send everything digitally, right?
Yeah, it's all sent.
Wow.
You do that. So I mean,
You do that?
She sends it. She sends it. Yeah.
Jackie, that's a big deal.
Yeah. So she sends everything out.
What would we do without Jackie, right? You need
footage.
people like Jackie. Oh my God.
We'd be in the same place we started.
All right. So now listen, you know what? It's 9:40. At 9:40, I don't know if you know what happens, but we go to a food section of our show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. We have to do it together. Ready?
Okay.
Go ahead, keep eating. All right, beautiful.
Did I have to use my hands?
You
like
did,
how
Jackie, and I
Italian-
love that you did. You got all the
Very
time.
Northern European. I'm not familiar.
So what are we eating?
Well, all right, tell you what we're eating. Okay, so this is our beautiful plate. I am definitely a food stylist, that's for sure. I love creating plates, and I always go with themes. So, we are in December, and last week was our Hanukkah show. I am sliding into Christmas. Next week, I promise I'll have a tree up. But, so what did I make? I asked these guys if they had any food restrictions. No, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, baby Jesus, since Christmas is coming. And so they were like, Jack was like, no, we like it all. It's great. Okay. So I sauteed some nice chicken in marsala, oregano, garlic, onion, parsley, and I think that's it with the herbs. And then I threw in red peppers and asparagus and butter. There's butter in here.
Oh, thank God.
I love it. I know.
Thank God.
Oh my God. And that's poured over penne. And so that is our display plate. Smells delicious. Okay. And then, I always like a nice
Hold on,
salad.
I want to smell it too.
Smell it, Stephen. But we have a big pot in the. One day somebody came and they thought that's all I had. That little. I said I'm Italian. What are you, crazy?
I really love. Let me just stop you for
Yes,
1
please.
second. I love that everyone's repeating your catchphrase. Have you
Oh,
seen
go
that?
ahead, keep eating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a
I'm telling you,
catchphrase.
it is. I guess
You're
that
major. You're major.
is that true.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, I think if I get, because I am thinking about getting in the new year. What's the story with Maria? What do you call that? Apparel, or what are things that you would sell? What would you call that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Merch.
thinking
You
merch.
wanna
Thank
sell
you.
some
It's
merch.
time to merge into the merch. So I was thinking and I gotta put Go Ahead, Keep Eating in there. Like maybe oven mitts. What do you guys think? Hey, that's another thing. I want you to think, and next is your homework for next week. Come back and tell me what merchandise I should have for What's the Story with Maria, because I want to do that in the new year. Is it t-shirts? We can do t-shirts. We can do mugs. Of course, we can do that. Or should we do oven mitts? I'm thinking oven mitts. You know, that's like one size fits all.
Keep
I mean,
eating.
right. On one side it says, "What story with Maria?" The other side, go ahead, keep eating. Anyway, our delicious salad. Okay, so these are young, healthy people, so I want to keep them healthy. Kale. Everybody either loves or hates kale. So what I did was, I'm not a huge fan of kale, but I do kind of like it. So I mixed it in with iceberg lettuce. So I'm like, if I put iceberg in there, I can handle kale, but it's actually delicious. So kale, iceberg, cucumbers, shredded carrots, and then cranberries. That's going to make it nice and sweet. That's going to take care of that. And to sweeten that kale a little more, because otherwise kale is, you know, it's a lot. Kale has a very big personality. So we're going to tackle that with a grapefruit vinegar and extra virgin olive oil. That sweetness is going to calm down that very dominant kale. But kale is delicious if it parties with everyone else. It's a lot of fun if it's partying with everyone. So that is our kale salad. Now you got to have dessert on What's the Story with Maria. And what are we going to keep eating? Blondies. Blondies, because I have two blondes here, right? So no brownies. Used to be.
Little more ginger than blonde.
Yeah, he does have a little ginger in there, right? Maybe I'll put a little ginger in the salad for Steve. You know, I've actually thought about putting a little ginger in there. So anyway, here are our delicious blondies. What are blondies, you ask? They're kind of like vanilla brownies, right? Am I right in that? They're like, I love all sugar. I'm just like love sugar. So anyway, I love these, and that's what we're gonna have for dessert. And that is our food section called. Go ahead, keep eating.
We missed it. Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Called. Go ahead, keep
eating.
eating. Wonderful. All right. So now I just want to talk about food for a second. Now, Stephen, you are German. I'm assuming a name like Schmidt.
I mean, I'm from Michigan.
A Michigan German guy.
Yeah.
Hottie. A Michigan German ginger. Wow. What growing up was something that you just loved?
Oh man.
No matter how stupid that question. What was you were like, I can't wait to go home and eat this.
I had the grossest thing that I loved to do. It had nothing to do with my heritage whatsoever.
Okay.
In the morning, I would get.
Do I want to know this story?
It's gross.
We're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it either way.
It's gross.
You see the non-Italians what they do? Go ahead.
It's gonna disgust you.
Oh my God.
True Italians.
I love it.
Eggo waffles. I would toast the Eggo waffles.
Yeah.
I would get them out and I put butter on the top of both of them.
Sounds delicious already.
Stack them.
Yeah.
Syrup. Microwave the whole thing until it turned into this warm, sticky, sweet, savory mush.
Sounds wonderful.
And that's how I would start my day.
So you would start your day with like sugar. Bzzz.
Yeah, just off to the races.
That sounds delicious.
Two things my mom would make for me, which I still love to this day: Hungarian goulash, which I couldn't tell you one ingredient in Hungarian goulash if forced to right now. I really could.
Neither could I.
What's in goulash? Nobody knows, but it's delicious.
Nobody knows. I bet Annette
Zito
knows.
Annette knows. And shrimp scampi.
I love shrimp scampi. I wish I knew.
Just garlic,
no,
butter.
I don't use the tomatoes either in that because that's not scampi. Scampi is garlic, onions, butter,
right,
parsley, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if you add tomato sauce to it, now it's a Fra Diablo kind of ish thing, which is also delicious but different. Stephen, next time you come, I will make you shrimp scampi.
I love it.
I love it too. Jackie, what was something you grew up with that you loved?
So I come from a little bit of a different place.
Please tell us.
My family, my mother's from Arkansas. My father is from Central Florida. But I was born and raised in Tampa. So I grew up on Publix fried chicken and sweet tea.
Publix, if you're in Florida, you know what Publix is. One of the greatest supermarkets. It's like you walk in there, it's like a village, right? They have everything you can imagine. So fried chicken, that was like in sweet tea. Sounds good to me too. Do you eat differently as adults than you did as kids?
I do in that I barely eat.
Why, Stephen? Why?
I always you eat all the time.
I might crush some
you
food.
You eat like 5 times a day,
That's
Stephen.
not true. That's
he's
not
very
true.
tall. He's very tall. You pick, but you don't really sit and eat a meal, right? You just kind of pick, right?
No, so I tend to not even eat until 4, intermittent
That's
fasting.
true.
But I do it not on purpose. It's just because that I'm so absent-minded that I don't eat until about 4 or 5, and then
it's that you finish work, and then the second that you finish work, food is the
Maybe
first thing on your
maybe I
mind.
eat some food then, but during the day, less.
See,
It's completely different from the way I
I'm
used to eat.
sorry.
I eat all day long. Even if I'm teaching a class, like my students, I'm sure they talk about me when the class is over and say like, "Does she ever stop eating?" I always have like something that I'm picking on. I have to, like gummy bears or nuts or something. It's like otherwise, if I don't have food near me, I panic.
I don't dig a gummy. I don't.
No,
dig
I
on the gummies.
love a gummy bear.
Am I the only person that?
No,
Am I the only
I don't
person
know.
that doesn't like gummy bears?
I don't
or
know.
gummy
my
candy?
God.
We used to order
Everybody loves those.
the Haribo like 10-pound bags.
oh
I'd say
yeah,
keep it.
that's my favorite. I
Yeah.
always have some in my bag.
Um,
Now I've been trying to be better and
Keep it.
I have like dried mangoes. Those are really
Ooh,
good.
yeah. That sounds
I
good to me.
prefer a salty snack,
Do you?
but the gummy bears. I'll get
I
after
love
those.
'em. I'll
Chocolate.
keep them.
If I want something sweet, I want chocolate.
Chocolate. All right. That's good to know. Okay, so now let's recap. I want to go back and then I want these guys to tell us again how we can find them. So we have about 10 minutes left to our show. Let's see if anybody's asked any questions about Isabella. Oh my God, yes, t-shirts and towels. Wait, thank you, Isabella. Isabella Raskowski is really my cousin Marisa, but she goes on her daughter Isabella's page.
Amazing.
Yeah, a lot of the Italian girls, they don't want their own Facebook pages. My cousins are like, I don't want people to know where I am.
Yeah.
I don't want people to find me. Anyway, so Marisa said, oh my God, yes, t-shirts, dish towels. I like that, Marisa. That's really good. And bibs for babies that say, go ahead, keep eating. That's genius. That is, okay. So these are things that are happening in the new year. So Christmas is a Tuesday. We're celebrating it at Marisa Raskowski's. We're having Christmas with the Raskowskis, and I'm Facebook Living the show.
Cool.
On Christmas night. All right. Rena, Kale has a big personality. She's laughing. It's true. Kale upstages. It's an upstager. Maria is right, and I actually don't know what is in Hungarian. I don't know. See, nobody knows. Not even Steven, but you loved it.
No idea.
As a kid, I had a
Noodle.
I
There's a
haven't
noodle.
debated.
It's noodle based.
What's that creamy stuff in it? Is it like
Cornstarch? I have no idea.
It's so good though. Goulash. I might have to make that. Annette, you might have to help me
Because
on the
I
goulash.
made what did I make? I made creamy Tuscan chicken
That
last
sounds
night.
delicious. Steven, I didn't know you could cook.
Instant pot.
Oh, okay, that's all
The
right.
miracle of Instant Pot.
Yeah, but Instant Pot is great. Charles Harold has joined us. Edward Hahn Jr. has joined us. You just missed the food, Eddie. Eddie was looking because I posted that thing where I was cooking it.
I can do it.
Yes, please. Let's show it again very quickly. We're going to recap. Thank you, Stephen.
Do you need assistance?
No, I got it.
Oh my
I was
God,
a
you have
waiter
all
for
that
a
stuff?
long time.
Yeah, that's true. In this town, if you're an actor, you're a waiter. So
Same.
there it is. There's our penne with chicken, red peppers, and asparagus,
Uh-huh.
and our delicious kale. Big personality, kale and iceberg. I put kale and iceberg in there. Cranberries, carrots, and all that stuff. Beautiful. And blondies. We have blondies here. Delicious. Okay, so let's we got about, this show usually ends about 9:57. So either one of you or both of you, please let these actors know.
Well, yeah, there's three things that we want you guys to know about, which is the first brand that we started, which is Real Arc, which shoots scenes for your
And
actor
that's
demo reel.
REE.
Yeah, REELARC, one word, .com. And then Actors Launchpad, which is that $30 a month membership situation with all of your audition taping, meetups, agent seminars, casting director meetups, and we have a
That
big
is a
party every
steal.
couple of
A
months.
steal.
Which is amazing, and that's actorslaunchpad.com. And then we also most recently started an app, which is pretty incredible. It's called Moodcaster.
Moodcaster, what's that?
It's actually an entire digital casting platform. So with Moodcaster, casting directors are able to post specific breakdowns, sides, auditions, things like that, displays for them in a really beautiful dashboard. And then for the actor, you're actually able to audition tape directly from your smartphone.
That's crazy.
So, that's where the app comes into play. So if you download the Moodcaster app,
So how
you're
do you
able
find
to.
that? You just go to your app store?
Yeah, App
Yeah.
Store for iOS right now.
For iOS, Android is
coming
coming
soon.
early 2019.
That's okay. I can wait.
And that's
Me and my
Moodcaster,
Samsung, we can wait.
And that's MOODCASTER.
This is
Moodcaster.
amazing information.
And it's going to change the way that a lot of things are cast. A lot of things.
It is.
So we're
It's-
really excited about
It's
it.
what we use to cast our scenes at Real Arc. So
Yeah.
we're casting probably 20 different projects per week.
Wow.
And it makes it an absolute dream from the casting perspective. And so
Because you don't have to go all through all that. It's like it just cuts to the
Mhm.
If
chase,
you're,
right?
let's say you're like a student film director and you have your Facebook following, you could get a mood code from the app. You can put it on your Facebook page and then just sit back and get submissions
No.
from all over the place.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's that
This
easy.
is amazing, and it takes the stress out of it. I think for the actor because, like, I know for me, I'm a big ham. I have no problem going on stage. That's not an issue. Sometimes what happens, and I'm usually good at I can usually get a callback. That's not an issue, but I always the getting there is the most stressful thing for me. You gotta take like 3 trains. You gotta transfer. Then it's raining. Then you're like, I only slept 3 hours because I work nights. It's like if I could submit that would my life would be different.
Well, think
say
about
say
also,
you're out of town, or say
That's
you've got to
true.
work and you don't have time to get to a self tape.
Oh my God, that is so amazing.
Submitting a self tape through Moodcaster takes probably 10 to 15 minutes
tops. Yeah.
tops.
You can actually edit the clips in the app. And
You
it'll
can?
stitch together multiple clips and send it as
What?
one video to.
Oh
the
no, this
casting
is
professional.
crazy. This
Yeah.
is not even.
It's insane. It doesn't exist.
It's not
anymore.
even
I
real.
know. I feel like
Here
Hey,
you are. You see?
if you want real puns,
Oh
you've
my
come
God.
to
Real
the
puns,
right
yeah,
place.
God.
Yes. Oh,
I'm here
love
with
it.
We're
the
the real
pun
deal.
masters.
Go ahead, Jackie. What else did you want to throw in there? You were saying
No,
something. I
that
jumped
was
in.
pretty
Oh,
much
one
it.
thing that's super cool before we, in the new year, we're going to also be starting an option on the app. So you're holding your phone here.
Uh-huh.
You've got you on the left, and you've got a reader in the app basically talking back and forth with you and reading with you. So you don't have to even find a reader. So we're going to be doing a situation where it's almost like a FaceTime situation with the script. So you can have a reader wherever you want them to come from.
That's
You can connect with
crazy.
them. Yeah.
Vincenzo D'Amato has joined us. Hi, Jimmy. That's my it's a long story, but Jimmy is his name. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? And Cheryl Giuliano Rubenstein is joining us. She's out in LA. Jimmy is in Boston. So this is just incredible information. Now, Leo has posted all this stuff, and also we have tagged in the video. Once I save it, I've tagged all of those places that you can find Jackie Woolley, Stephen C. Schmidt, and a gaggle of other great people that work with you, right? You have
Yeah.
a nice crew
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
that works there, and it's
Yeah.
a safe.
They're okay.
Yeah. Well, you two are the best. That's why I said I want the
That's why
best
we're
you
here.
have. Who do you got? Who you sending me? Jackie and Steven. That's it. They were like, you can't touch them, and I was happy about that.
Love it.
So okay, now if you're not an actor and you're thinking this is crazy, yeah, I'll tell you why this is good. If you're not an actor, I'm glad you're here. Now, when you watch an episode of anything that you like, whether you binge watch it, whether you just are flipping around and you find, special victims unit or whatever you're into, you think this life is so glamorous and easy. It's really, really challenging. And so the people, like Robert De Niro said, it's not always the best actors that make it. It's the most persistent. A lot of great actors, end up just giving up as they go. In the past, they've given up because it's just too hard to stay in the game, work for a living. Of course, you have to work, pay your bills, and eventually people just drop out. And, some of the other people keep with it. These guys have made it very, very, very easy for you to stay in the game, which is the whole point. Act. If you are an actor, you love acting. You love this business. You love this work. It's exciting. It's amazing. It's rewarding. Now you don't have to be bogged down and deal with all that stuff that's going to sideswipe you. You can stay in the game. That's what I would, if people were asking me what's the best, like for me, my take of what you just told me is it's a relief. Like I just kept sighing relief because it just takes all the work out of it. Now you still have to show up and be on your game, so what would you say is some good advice for actors, either one of you, just about staying on, staying in it?
The first thing for me is self-acceptance is the key to it all. Is accepting who you are and what you bring to the table. The second thing is also just realizing what it means to be a TV and film actor and realizing that you're very much the tip of the iceberg and to respect what's underneath the water is propping you up so that you get to chill out in the sun.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because once you understand what everybody's job is, that will set you free to not feel like you have to perform, but that you are a very important piece of this grand thing.
And you're talking about the people behind the scenes, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for the most part, so many people.
Hold on one second.
Oh, sure,
Jimmy,
sure.
what do we got?
Minute.
A minute. Wow. Okay, keep
Cool.
going.
I'm sorry. I'll open
No,
up to
no,
Jackie
don't be
then.
sorry. This is great. So that's
Just
a wonderful way to.
Just be a good person,
Yeah.
you know, be a giving person, and you'll find a way in this business.
Okay, great.
So mine kind of segues from Steven's, and that is to know what your goals are and to really take some thought and put those goals on paper. Say, you know, this is the person that I want to put out there in front of casting directors and agents and managers, and really learn how to do that well.
Okay.
That's
There's no better advice than that. And it's true. And they're going to help you. So go to realarc.com. Where should they, what's the one place they should go if they're going to go to one of them? Real Arc?
Yeah, I mean, we'll
if
start at real life.
anything, what you can give them is my email address, which is Jackie JACKIE at realarc.
Okay.
REELARC.com.
Okay. And that's what we'll leave you with. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen,
you, guys.
keep going. Don't give up. That is the key. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Jimmy.